Skateboarding, an extreme sport often seen as for the misfits and outcasts of society. But recently in 2021, we saw skateboarding in the Olympic Games for the first time ever. In this video, I'll be discussing the context of skateboarding leading up to its Olympic debut, the reasons for its inclusion, and whether this was successful. It all began in the early 50s when a group of surfers had an idea to bring their sport to the streets. This so-called sidewalk surfing became the very basis of the sport we today now know as skateboarding. Not only did skating become a fun pastime hobby that was sometimes used as a mode of transport, but it created a new culture that valued individuality, creativity, and freedom. From here, skateboarding took off, gaining in popularity over the next 5 decades up until the mid-2000s, which saw a gradual decline for the sport. This all took a change when it was announced that in 2016, 5 new sports would be added to the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. All of a sudden, the world of skateboarding had a chance to make its way onto mainstream television. However, not everyone was on board with this idea. Some skaters believed that the Olympics would cause skating to lose the originality and creativity aspect of the sport, while others saw this as an opportunity for skateboarding to grow bigger into competitions like these. In an interview with Thrasher magazine, professional US skater Miles Silvers stated this: "Skateboarding being in the Olympics was bound to happen. More and more people are starting to skate, and it's non-stop growing as a sport. Stay in your lane and let skateboarding grow." And grow it did. This graph shows the number of searches for skateboarding since 2004. We can see this gradual downward trend over the past 17 years, up until the time of the Olympics, where there was a sudden surge in searches. Neil Ellis, the engagement manager at Skateboard GB, the governing body for skateboarding in Great Britain, said that since being featured on the Olympics, it has seen a 30% increase in traffic to its website, with people searching for skateboard lessons, and a 200% growth in skatepark searches on the MySkate app. This popularity has helped increase the viewership of those younger competitors of the sport, another reason why it was added to the games. In 2016, Thomas Bach, president of the International Olympic Committee, said this: "We want to take sport to the youth. With the many options that young people have, we cannot expect any more that they will come automatically to us. We have to go to them." This was all part of the initiative to bring youth-focused games to the Olympics. This belief was also reflected among the professionals of those added sports. American skater Yoshi Tanabe said this: "Hopefully they give some young people opportunities to make it. It's cool to see young guys go at it." We can see that both the IOC and professional skateboarders hope to shed light on younger competitors, which is definitely what we saw in the Olympics. Of all 12 possible skateboarding Olympic medals, 5 of them went to girls under 18, 4 of them being 13 and under. This outstanding level of young talent has become a clear inspiration for other young skaters out there as well. This motive was stated by Tony Hawk.
In general, they don't have that with the Summer Games. They don't have anything that's drawing in a younger viewership. And so I think to be honest, I think they need skateboarding more than we need them.
Neil Ellis from Skateboard GB stated that many of his friends' children have been starting to skate for the first time. I personally have been inspired to start skating by its inclusion in the Olympics. And speaking with some of my skater friends, they've also said they've witnessed this as well.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot more skaters in the past few months, younger skaters actually. It's been great. I've been skating for a while now, and I've never actually seen this many young skaters at the park before.
Another reason why skateboarding was added to the Olympics was that it created opportunities for women to stand out. This is what professional skater Nora Vasconcelos had to say: "If anything, it's good, because as women skaters we now have more contests to go to and travel opportunities. The more girls who are making a living skateboarding, the more diversity there can be." For the most part, the Olympics has always been male dominated in number of participants, likewise with skateboarding. However, with the introduction of skateboarding and many other sports, this has equaled out. Specifically in skateboarding, both the male and female competitions had exactly the same number of competitors, which I believe to be very successful in achieving their aim. This recognition of women in sports has inspired more women to take up skateboarding. Poppy Olsen, Australian skater who came 5th in the Olympics, said that she's had a lot more messages from younger girls and younger skaters saying they're so excited to skate after seeing it in the Olympics. On top of all of this, there were also financial reasons and benefits for skateboarding in the Olympics. Lizzie Armanto, US skater, believed that as a result of the Olympics, there will be lots of parks and events coming up that are exciting in skateboarding. This was definitely seen as well. Within 3 days of Australia's Keegan Palmer winning gold in park skateboarding at the Tokyo Games, the City of Sydney opened a skateboarding facility in Annandale. 4 days later, Blacktown City announced a $353,000 investment in skateboarding. Now, what about the future of skateboarding? In a video clip promoting skateboarding in the Olympics, Tony Hawk said this.
We used to see ourselves as a family of misfits, but now the world will call us Olympians.
And to a certain extent, this is true. It was recently announced that skateboarding will be part of the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, and will likely stay in the Olympics for many games ahead. In this video, I discussed the reasons for skateboarding's inclusion in the Olympic Games and whether this was successful. In my opinion, I believe that skating in the Olympics was extremely successful. We saw how as a result of this inclusion, there has been an increase in popularity of the sport, leading to an increase in youthful competition and participation, whilst also giving opportunities for women to stand out, creating financial benefits and leaving an Olympic-based legacy for skateboarding as a whole.